that with the teams, and working through what the setups were, what the air pressures were, to try to get to the bottom of it. But there was a lot of teams that reported no problems to us post race, and they did admit to being a little bit on the conservative side, air pressure, and being closer to the suggested minimums that Goodyear recommended.
Scott, did you guys consider penalizing Byron for tapping Denny Hamlin there under caution? And if so, what were the discussions and why the ultimate decision not to penalize?
So I'll have to be honest with you, Bob. When we were in the tower, we were paying more attention to the actual cause of the caution up there and dispatching our equipment. The William Byron, Denny Hamlin thing, we had no eyes on. We saw Denny go through the grass, and by the time we got to a replay that showed the incident well enough to do anything to it, we had gone back to green. But I'm not sure that that issue is completely resolved as of yet. So we'll be looking at that when we get back to work.
Is there a potential points penalty for that?
We're going to work through those things, Bob.
On the tires, this is the same tire we're going to use at Las Vegas. Are you guys going to talk to the teams and the Goodyear to kind of figure out maybe if there's similar issues there, try to avoid that?
That's what I said. Goodyear is working with the teams about the, on their setups and everything else to try to, try to mitigate the problems that we're certainly seeing. We're all learning about the setups, the tires. Goodyear's learning about the construction, the new wheel. So it's part of a learning. It's an unfortunate part of a learning process. But as I said earlier, the ones that didn't have any problems admitted to being on the conservative side with all the things that are difficult on tires. They make speed, but they're difficult on tires.
Scott, some of the teams said, if they were the conservative teams, said that there's still an amount of laps that a tire should last, right? How long should the tires last? Is there some sort of, they didn't have enough tire today?
I don't really know how to comment on how long a tire should last. The top four at least ran 64 laps, home, and if they can go 64 laps, they have plenty of tires to get the job done.
Scott, in reference to the Hamlin Byron incident, could you have put Hamlin back in his position had you seen it soon enough? Would that have been what you guys would have
So there would probably, if we had seen that good enough to react to it real time, which we should have, no excuse there. There would probably have been two courses of action. One would have been to put Hamlin back where he was, or the other would be to have made Williams start in the back.
So moving forward, because this is a situation that impacts a couple playoff drivers and could impact their playoffs, and you guys have talked about in the tower of making some changes when there have been issues like here, having the committee with cautions after the All-Star race. What more can you do to try to be better, or try to avoid a situation like this where you're able to see something, especially with it being a playoff race and so much at stake?
Well, so we don't have the cameras and the monitors that we've got. We dedicate them mostly to officiating and seeing our safety vehicles and how to dispatch them and all that. And by the time we put all those cameras up, we don't have room for all of the in-car cameras to be monitored. So we're going to look at having, because if we would have had immediate access to the 24 in-car camera, that would have helped us a lot with, being able to find that quickly. So that's definitely one of the things that we're looking at.
What about the race? Obviously, a lot of cautions, but what about the track itself and the things that have been talked about, reconfiguration, rebuild track? Your thoughts on that after today's race?
Well, I think that, I think the general consensus, and this just isn't my opinion, is this has been a difficult track to race on for a while now. So what the plans are for it or anything like that, I don't have any details on any of that. But if you ask the drivers, if you ask the crew chiefs, it's been a difficult place, over the years, for sure.
When you debrief with the teams,
Jared Haas with Frontstretch.com. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, check one of those two videos out that we have right beside you. Visit frontstretch.com for more great content.